Hello everyone, this is the tutorial for Most Wanted. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. To play this the easiest, we need a capo on fret 1. If you are in need of a capo, feel free to check one out in the description below. So, there are several chords that we need in this, and what I'm going to do is show you the chords. I'm going to show you a few different ways of how to play this, and then we'll talk about the structure and so on afterwards. So, the first chord that we need, which is right at the start of the song, is a C major chord. Now, I'm going to play this and show you it in the reference to the capo. So the first note is on the A string, fret 3 up from the capo, 2 on the D string, 0 on the G, 1 on the B, and an open E string. That's the first chord. The next chord is what we call C/B. So just take that C chord, get rid of that finger, move this finger up to the A string, and keep this guy where he was. And we call that C/B. It's a passing chord. We then have an A minor chord, which is an open A string, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E string. Now those three chords are going to get us through the introduction and part of the verse. So you could, if you wanted, let's say you're more on the beginner side of things, you could strum like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, then back to the slash chord. With down, 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 up, down, 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 up. 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a. However, the actual song has a lot of picking. Now, I'm not going to go over the exact details of it, but what we do is we take the chord, we always start with the lowest note of the chord, which in this case is 3 on the A string, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4. The highest note happens on beat 4 of the picking. And then you can just kind of pick notes in the middle of the chord to get through that part. So, and then if you do the same on the C/B, you just pick that as the lowest note. Then A minor is the open A string. And then we go back to that slash chord. So just to show you how it can sound like when you pick all those notes, we have... Now for the introduction, you play that round twice. So whether you strum or you pick the chords, play through those twice, and then we get to the first verse. And the good news is, we play exactly the same thing, it's just Beyonce and Miley start singing, and we play it 4 more times for the verse. Then we get to the chorus section of the song, which we're going to still kind of pick away at, but there's more involved. Now it's worth mentioning that if you'd like the chord charts for this, as well as the chords and the lyrics matched up, then head on over to Patreon. I brought everything out professionally, and you can download it and play along without writing it out and potentially making a mistake yourself or maybe forgetting something. So yeah, feel free to check that out, links in the description. But the chorus, we start off in the same way. We then do it a second time, which I won't play, because the next part after that we have a new section, and we have an E minor chord. Now E minor is an open E string, 2, 2 on the A and D string, and then 0, 0, 0 on the remaining strings. The next chord is also a new chord, so yeah, lots of chords to remember, so it might be worth getting that PDF. The next chord is technically a D major chord, and that is an open D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and 2 on the high E string. However, your thumb, if you can, bring it over the top so it plays fret 2 on the E string. It's another slash chord called D over F sharp or D/F sharp, and that's then going to lead into a full G major chord, which is 3 on the E string, 2 on the A string, 0, 0, 0, and 3 on the high E. It's worth mentioning, by the way, for that D chord, if you can't get that thumb over the top, then don't worry about it, just play the normal D chord. So after the E minor and that D/F sharp, you have the G chord, and then a C chord. And that C chord is going to sustain. So let me just play through that little section for you. E minor. And then we play the same chords as we had earlier. Before we then play this chord here, which is technically a C major 7 with an added G note on the top, so a nice little voicing. Basically, get your C chord that you've played earlier, get rid of this finger and add your little finger to fret 3 on the high E string. You could also play it like that if you like. Whichever you find most comfortable. And that will get you through the chorus. We then get a second verse, which basically takes what you did at the start of the song and you play it 4 more times. So we're going to move on from that and look at the next part of the song, which is the chorus again. Now, the chorus is largely the same as before, with a small difference. At the end of the first chorus, you held this G major 7th chord. However, you don't do that on this time. Instead, it goes to a bridge section, and the bridge section really is just the introduction chords 2 more times round. However, we then get to the final chorus. Now, the final chorus does have some little minor differences, so I'm going to play through it all for you. Now, the last chorus sustains some chords for 4 beats, and we have G, 1, 2, 3, 4, the D over F sharp, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, and then the D chord by itself. Then we go to the C, into the pattern that we've got used to a million times already through the song. Play that around 4 times, and then they end things on an A minor chord. Bit of a strange one to do, but that's what they do on the track. And who am I to question Beyonce? Anyway, that is then the end of the song. So it's worth mentioning that if you do want the full structure plus the chords and the lyrics, do check out Patreon. Like I said, everything's wrote up professionally. There's a link in the description for it. I also want to say thanks to the people on the screen. Those are my active patrons, so they'll get the content that I've just mentioned the moment this video goes live. So thanks to them for watching, and thanks to you for watching as well, and I'll see you in the next video.